Today we're gonna learn how to paint Seli from Zombicide Green Horde in under 90 minutes.
That the entirety of the cosmos is accessible to each and every individual's mind, connected to the great mind, the great spirit.
Welcome back to the channel, collectors. So today we'll be painting Seli from Zombicide Green Horde. I'll be sharing my thoughts with you about why you shouldn't be overly ambitious, and sometimes it's okay to stick with what you know. So if you're ready, let us begin. Alright, welcome back to the channel, collectors. So today, while painting Seli, I'll be talking about not being too ambitious. The miniature I just painted before Seli was the Abomination from Zombicide Black Plague, and I would think that it was a colossal failure because I really tried to do something. I really tried to do too many things with one little miniature. So for Seli, my focus is to communicate a female elf skin, which I would like to contrast against Rolf's very warm barbarian skin. Okay? So while the colors used are the same during this mix, the ratios are slightly different, which I would describe to portray the skin very differently. So the base colors are used are Chimera Violet, Chimera Red Oxide, Joe Sonia Skin Tone, Off-White by Vallejo Model Color, and a little bit of fluorescent blue. However, for Seli's skin, I've used a lot more of the Joe Sonia skin tone rather than the Red Oxide to give her a little bit more of a cooler, more tender skin tone rather than Rolf's very red barbarian skin. As you guys can see, in this mix, the result of which is that the first layer is very purplish, it's a pale purple color, and compared to Rolf's skin, as you guys can see in the video right here, links will be in the show notes, he will have a very red skin tone. So Seli's skin tone rather it's a more purple based skin tone. Of course, having a purple looking elf would make her look too night elf, so I want to make her look a little bit more normal human elf looking. So of course, gradually adding more red oxide and more skin tone into this mix, we have created this, I would call it a mid-tone. So while talking about not being too ambitious is that in the Abomination which I've painted before Seli, I've tried to do a under orange glow with a cool ambient light, and all that on a very on a larger miniature with many elements. So the result of that was that I have a very muddied up Abomination, and I can hardly tell what is what. The readability wasn't good. I didn't have a good understanding of the colors. I ended up mixing every color together and the values were all off also. I think this is also a very good reflection on, say for example, my Red King video which I've painted last week, and the result was that the Red King was not up to my standards as a miniature painter. So as you guys can see, I'm adding in the highlights for Seli right now. So we're giving Seli a red hair. I've been painting red hair a lot these few days, and I would say that I've come to settle on a very basic recipe to it. It's more of like red oxide, then gradually just add in juice on your skin tone, and gradually just add in whatever ambient light that you're doing. So as I mentioned in many of my videos, hair should be highlighted as a volume, not in strands, at least not at this stage. So with Rolf, I realized that I had a lot of time to spare, and I think with Seli, I think I had the same discovery, is that I realized that I was getting really fast. As in not real fast, but I was getting really fast compared to how I used to paint. For you guys who know me personally, you guys know that I'm a very slow painter. I'm horrible with deadlines, and yeah. But with Seli and Rolf, I've started to realize that miniature painting is not just about precision and blends. Speed is also a very important aspect, because in my opinion, humans have this is true, humans have a very limited attention span. Adults' attention span would average about 50 minutes. So if you were to decide to spend the entire day trying to paint a miniature, of course you will tire out, and the result of the subsequent painting session would give diminishing returns. What I would say is that you should almost limit the amount of time you are painting. Make sure during the time that you are painting, you're giving your very best, which is what I've discovered when painting these 90-minute miniatures, is that I tend to be very focused and give all my knowledge within these 90 minutes, because I know that after these 90 minutes I will try not to touch these miniatures anymore, because I want them to be as true to the spirit of this challenge as possible. Okay. So anyways, back to discussing Seli. As per my other heroes, I'm giving her a very cool ambient light with an orange light from the left hand side of each model. In the box art, it shows that this crease is an orange crease, so I'll just be following the box art colors. And her sword also looks a bit orange, so I'll just follow as such. So during this tutorial, if you find that you have any questions, do post it in the comment section below, and I will do my very best to answer any questions that you guys have placed. To me, painting female skin has the focus would be to not over exaggerate the muscles and to pay close attention to the anatomy. I've seen many painters exaggerate the abdominal muscles and exaggerate the form, and without proper knowledge of the shape of the muscles, just paint in a very cartoony six-pack looking abdominal area, which can be very easily avoided by just having some reference material or just looking online to see how anatomy works. So as you guys can see in Seli's abdominal area, I've only focused on the rib cage and a little bit of belly fat underneath her belly button, and a little bit of fat flow on the side of the hip. Other than that, I do not really exaggerate any form of this miniature, because you don't want her to look too much like a bodybuilder. So as you guys can see, we're going to be focusing on the face now. For face, I'm going to give her a very pale skin tone to illustrate that she's really fair and that the ambient temperature is really cool. For lips, you don't want to use too much of a red. You want to use a sort of like a mixed red with a brown. Give that nude makeup look. So I find myself highlighting many of the areas using the same colors. And now, as per usual, going into my last stretch of this miniature, I'll also be focusing on the readability. So after you placed in the colors, my movement of paints would usually just flow towards readability towards the end to make sure that the entire miniature is very clear. So this readability part would also entail going into painting black lines, painting in the re-emphasizing the shadows, and many other tips which I will be covering in a future video. So as you can see right here, I'm trying to focus on highlighting her face, and now I'm starting to put in the orange glow from the bottom. This orange glow is a very good contrast to the very cool ambient temperature which you guys can see. So moving on, I'm just painting the base black for presentation. And I'm gonna paint in a little bit of the orange glow on the base to illustrate the environment. So this is the finished miniature. I hope you liked her, and yeah, I hope you found this video useful. Have a good day, man.
So what do you think about Seli? My thoughts are, I think for Seli, I'm very happy that I stuck with what I knew and the results really showed. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below, alright? So you guys know the drill, like, subscribe, all the other stuff, because we post videos every day. I don't want you to miss out on any of the videos. And if you can afford, go on and become a patron today. Patrons get extended play footage and many exclusive videos from what we are producing right now. Okay, I'd like to thank my patrons for allowing me to do this. I hope to see you in the next video. See you!